Quality in tourism is the only solution to creating a timeline for the long-term recovery of the sector, both internationally and in Greece. And this does not appear to be achieved before the current year, considering that due to the pandemic, at last 6 months of the tourist season have generally been lost, which must be replaced mainly in income. At a time when the World Tourism Organization predicts that tourism in emerging economies will reach 57% of the world market by 2030, compared to 74% in 2010, the seasonality remains with the risk of over-concentration of population in tourist destinations. However, the extension of the tourist season is dependent on the development of those special thematic forms of tourism, I will talk about thematic forms later on, that are increasingly gaining popularity with a significant share of travelers and even travel enthusiasts, which also contributes to the repetition of their visit, an equally significant requirement for the success of any strategic approach to the markets. According to all indicators and indications, it is clear that we are expecting an even better year than 2022, which in several destinations has in fact proved that revenue is more important for the economy than just the number of arrivals. However, it must be understood that we're still going through a period of volatility that requires constant readjustments in market approach practices. The main role lies on the communication field and has to do with creating the right message at the right time and to the right audience. The secret of success, therefore, is to identify the travel enthusiasts. And here comes the dimension of cross-cultural communication, not between governments, but between people. However, since every dialogue must have a specific topic, I present to you as a best practice Elafonisos, an island in southern Peloponnese that has become known to the whole world for its amazing landscapes, but also for its rich history and mythology. In recent years, Elafonisos has been an example of a destination that combines attractiveness with quality. Both the attractiveness aimed at visitors and the quality that concerns its residents were harmonized with the trends that emerge regarding the criteria for choosing a place, either for holidays or for accommodation or even for investments. And this is because it combines a notable investment destination and an ideal place for innovative business and alternative action, but also a beautiful place to live. A key success factor was and remains that the island has a completely human-centric character, which is confirmed by the multitude of repeat visitors. So, with people as the focus, we present the thematic fields of interest of the island with the aim of making them the subject of a fruitful dialogue between citizens and visitors within the framework of the F.A.M.E. Road program. Because our main pursuit is interaction with ideas and dialogues that will contribute to a better and safer way of promoting the island to the Greek and foreign public. After all, the nature of the family holidays destination will, through this cross-cultural process, take on its proper dimension, since the island is environmentally friendly, has a deep historical and cultural tradition, and has kept the traditions untouched to this day, far from any alteration that would bring about a sudden and uncontrolled tourism development. Basic thematic fields of dialogue that we are providing are the physiography. The main concern was and remains the protection of the natural and cultural wealth of the area, the respect of the local community and the preservation of the island physiognomy and the authenticity of Elafonisos, since the main characteristic of the area is nature and is protected by natura, a natural heritage of unique beauty that the municipality preserves is in every possible way. After all, it was not by chance that Elafonisos was the first in all of Greece to be awarded with the certification for Pavlopetri from the Inheratura program. The pillars of the island's development strategy rest on this basis. They are summarized in the creation of opportunities for permanent employment, in dealing with seasonal entrepreneurship, and in general upgrading the social, cultural, recreational and commercial elements of the area. As far as the prospects are concerned, the area of Elafonisos is a place of innovative business activity by young entrepreneurs in the fields of marine and wider alternative tourism, cultural, fishing, sports, diving, culinary, health and wellness, wedding, ecotourism, and in supporting tourism activities, transportation, supplies, etc. Equally important are the activities that contribute to shaping a better quality of life for the residents: education, entertainment, sports, health, alternative medicine, counseling services. The points of interest in Elafonisos may have become famous for its award-winning Samos beach, but those who have visited discovered that it also lends itself to many activities, from hiking to cycling to water sports and, of course, archaeological visits such as the sunken city of Pavlopetri, but also romantic sunsets in Panagia, picturesque weddings and unforgettable wedding ceremonies in the church of Agios Spiridon, which is built in the islet and is connected with the main island by a bridge, making any ceremony seem captivating. As for the gastronomy, it is enough to mention the celebrities who visit the island always make sure to be photographed in the picturesque taverna in Kondogoni that are surrounded by bars and cafes, and all with respect for the environment, without sound and stylistic extremes. Culture. Elafonisos historically has proven to be crossroads of culture. For this reason, the wider area has been the subject of research by researchers, archaeologists, and historians. References to important archaeological and historical finds are frequent in Greek and international literature. the former name of Onugnathos, the extremely important cultural monument Pavlopetri in the underwater area of the municipality of Elafonisos, and the existence of valuable antiquities that have classed it as an archaeological and marine archaeological site, testify to the historical and cultural importance of the area. The history of Elafonisos begins with the Neolithic period, during which a brilliant and rare prehistoric civilization flourished, traces of which can be found in Pavlopetri, the oldest sunken city in the world. Since then, the historical route of Elafonisos and the surrounding area is connected with Peloponnesian War and the occupation by Athenians, Romans, Byzantium, Piracy, till the naval battle of Navarino and the liberation of Greece. The first inhabitants of the island were the Leleges, and later the Achaeans and the Dorians. Its strong connections with the Proto-Cycladic and Minoan civilization do not include at least partial settlements by Cyclades and Cretans. The Strait of Elafonisos is one of the most important overseas routes between East and West in the Mediterranean, and the only economic sea route connecting Eastern and Western Greece for 9,000 years. Mythology. The maritime area of Elafonisos has for centuries been the site of cosmological myths such as the birth of Aphrodite in Kythera, the three graces in the Strait of Elafonisos, Paris and the beautiful Helen during the Trojan War, the land of Cyclops and the journey of Odysseus, Glaucus, Selene, Chiron, Hercules' labor with the Centaurus, as well as the worship of deities such as Athena, Apollo, Artemis, Poseidon, and others. The poet of Theogony, Hesiod, mentioned that Aphrodite was born near Kythera from the foam that were created around a mutilated divine limb of Uranos. In the sanctuary of Athena, which was built around the 10th century BC in Elafonisos, Paris fled with the beautiful Helen, according to tradition. When they left Cranae, where they remained until their departure for Troy. After the capture and destruction of Troy, Odysseus was on his way to Ithaca. He has an adventurous journey, and he bypassed Malea and attempted to enter the Strait of Elafonisos. But this proved impossible, and the wind exiled him. After this adventure in the Strait of Elafonisos, Odysseus arrived in the land of Cyclops. The local tradition, taking into account the above, considered the island of Panagia as Cyclopeter's, the cave lying in front of them as the cave of Polyphemus, and the lower island as the land of Cyclops. Finally, the myth of the fourth labor of Hercules is also related to the myth of the Centaurus of Pholoe. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting these dialogue topics for Elafonisos, I wanted to emphasize that sympathies are not only built by governments, they are also imposed by people. So it is time to realize that when we can take action and motivate people to travel without waiting for governments to do it. Thank you.